purchase a question, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, and Amazon wish list in the description box below. Thank you to anybody who supports my channel in whatever ways you do, whether it be purchasing or donating, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing on this channel or my other channel. And let's get started with this message today. There's been somebody that's been really sad at the disappearance of someone, I feel like, and this person really needed to be able to jump out of the nest and trust their wings to be able to fly. I feel like there's been a lot of tears cried over this situation. It may even seem like a situation that is a little bit unreal in some sort of way. I feel like this person might be coming back into somebody's life. And there could be balance and harmony coming in. There's going to be a lot of reasons to smile in the near future because there's going to be a lot of peaceful connections going on in your life. There's definitely a need to remember to stay hydrated. Especially if somebody is taking any kind of meds, it's a good idea to remember to stay hydrated, whether that be natural meds or pharmaceuticals. To drink extra water. There's something going on in your dreams right now that is helping you to piece together situations. And we got Capricorn and Pisces out here. So there could be something to do with Capricorn or Pisces as well, especially dealing with your dreams. I feel like there's a lot of things being uncovered right now that have been hidden. There may actually be as well some sort of apology coming in for actions that were taken in the past. Somebody may be having a really hard time sleeping because of the guilt that they're feeling in this situation, but they're ready to bring everything to the light. And they might just be surprised by how well it goes. So I feel like it's going to go really well. So let's see what else we have going on in the collective at this time. Somebody is definitely watching over the actions you're making in your life at the moment. Kind of monitoring those actions. You could definitely feel like you've been given a warning about certain situations or people in your life. This always reminds me of two rattlesnakes as well. Like a rattlesnake looking in the mirror at another rattlesnake. Which also takes me back to the time that there was a rattlesnake that was rattling one night while I was with somebody. It was really weird. So, it was really weird. I'll have to tell you about that one later. Okay. ML. So, 2 questions. What's the gossip about you at work? And thank you for the extra on that as well. I appreciate it. The gossip on you at work. No carbon copy. You flutter around like a butterfly, your faith and optimism does belie the hardships we bear in this world we face. You learn at such a truly fast pace. Breaking out, transforming change, nothing escapes your wide range. Knowledge and wisdom you obtain, each and every cleansing rain. Remember now who you truly are. Lift up your standards and raise your bar. You have far too much to share to allow small minds to make you care. Show every inch of the real you, be the butterfly on view. You're very different, yes, it's true, but different is always beautiful too. So people are talking about how different you are, how intelligent you are. You may think very differently than everybody else. You may come up with solutions to a lot of the issues that are going on. And sometimes people feel like they kind of wish that you would express those things a bit more because they really do love your opinion on things. You eat healthy and make healthy decisions in your life. You're someone who loves and cares for yourself in all the right ways. If you need space, you take it, and you give that same freedom to others as well. So they're definitely talking about how you make good decisions and choices in your life, which also helps you to remain in pretty good health as well. And how when you show people how to do something, or when you tell people to do something or something along those lines, you don't necessarily stick around and hover over them as they're doing it. You just kind of leave them to their own thing and let them figure it out, which people kind of like. Lies and gossip, the weapons of the insecure. Others felt that they could turn the tide and sink your ship, but your ships will come in anyway. You are meant for greatness. Your impact is needed in this world, so don't give in. Walk is always better than talk. Just keep walking. So there could definitely be some lies and rumors going on in the background as well, but these people have no sway over anyone's mind, and I really don't think that anybody's actually listening to anything that's going on that front. You have everything that I desire, and I refuse to work as hard as you. In fact, I don't even see that you have. I can only see what I want and don't have. I spend all day pining after others' accomplishments and tearing down their character instead of setting and achieving my own goals. So whoever the person is that's trying to throw a wrench in shit, it's somebody that is looking at you and what you have and how everybody looks up to you with very envious eyes. They spend a lot of time tearing down everyone. It's not just you. They kind of tear down everyone, which is probably half the reason why nobody's listening to anything that's coming out of their mouth, is because they spend all their time trying to tear down everyone. And I don't think your guides even want you to focus on whatever they're talking about, because they didn't pull out anything that's actually what they're talking about that's bad. They want you to focus more on the good things that people are saying and trust that nobody's believing the rest of that shit. What is hidden from you that you need to know? You could definitely be having some fairly vivid dreams at this time, which can help you in understanding what's being hidden from you. Somebody could be going through some sort of depression as well, and they may not be speaking about it so much. So if somebody in your life has been kind of disappearing a bit, or not showing up, or really tired, not wanting to go anywhere or do anything, turning down all of your invitations, things like that, it could be for a deeper reason. And try not to take it so personally, but understand that they're going through their own things. I feel like you're not listening to your intuition so fully right now, and you're feeling like a lot of the things that are going on in the dark are really hard to see. But taking some time in nature to get grounded and balanced is going to help you to be able to tap in more, to be able to light up what's going on behind the scenes. Differences. We all have differences, it's plain to see. We all have differences, even me. When you wake up each new day, remember to look in the mirror and say, I'm amazing and super cool. I'm going to have such a great day in school. Don't let the bullies make you sad or angry, upset, or mad. Remember that they have feelings too. Maybe they are just like you. They have a heart and sometimes it breaks. Maybe they just have more aches. Stand up for yourself, but be nice too, because you don't want to be a bully too. And if you don't know what to do, talk to an adult. They will help you. There is actually a more adult version of this poem, too, in here somewhere. If you need to talk to somebody in management, then you can talk to somebody in management about what's going on behind the scenes. But honestly, I feel like not feeding it your energy or your time or your effort is going to be the best way to really suffocate this energy out and not have to deal with it anymore. It really is kind of true when they tell you that when you ignore it, it just kind of goes away. For the most part, sometimes no, but for the most part, when you ignore those situations, they just kind of fade away to the background. Focus on the things around you now and here. See the beauty in it all. Show gratitude and clear out anything unneeded. Blessings will soon be coming. You just may not see the results of your work yet. Patience will pay off. You may be feeling like all eyes are on you. You may not have done the right thing. Who's to say what the right thing is anyway? We're all doing the best that we can in the moment. Have compassion for yourself. Your intentions were pure and your patience will pay off with a generous offer. You may have been tricked and left to walk away in shame, but there is someone who sees the real value. Open your heart to receive. I can understand that. I've had some really weird dreams myself lately that it's like, okay, what the hell were you trying to tell me with that dream? But sometimes once you piece them together, it kind of, and sometimes it's like a couple months later, you're thinking about that dream and you're like, oh, wait a second, whoa. All of a sudden it hits you what that dream is talking about. You're very welcome, and thank you for being here today too, and for buying questions. And the tip. So what are you not seeing? You might be working so hard that you may not be realizing just how far you've come and just how much you have been able to overcome as you've been on this road. I really feel like you are inspiring a lot of people behind you as well to believe that they can accomplish what they set out to accomplish. And I also feel like you kind of need to take a rest a bit and make sure that you are giving yourself enough time for sleep. Really pay attention to those dreams that you're having too. Maybe even start a dream journal and write down some of the dreams that you're having, and it might actually help you to be able to figure out what your subconscious is trying to tell you. Last quarter moon in Aquarius. Reflect on your priorities. What is it that's most important to you? What is it that's most valuable to you? Where does most of your time, energy, and effort go? And is that where you feel like it should be going? It's time to really look at what you're paying attention to and what you are focusing on the majority of the time, and whether or not that is creating what you're wanting to create in your life, or whether or not it's focused on things that are creating more stress for you and more work for you in the long run. So,
Not perfect, but
thank you.
great. You're welcome.
That is what I got for your questions, and I really hope that that helped to answer them.
All the tags are at the foot of the bed. I know it's hot because I know that's how you like it.
Back to collective reading. Thank you. So, probably a love interest or a father figure. Very egoic. You're so honest, very blunt. I can't believe that you have the audacity to say those things to me. No one ever stands up to me the way that you have. You're right, and I can't take it. While I hate it and you for it, part of me loves it in a sick and twisted way. Your fire and passion is something that I would like to control or tame. I've met people like that. I want the respect of others, whether I've earned it or not. I lead through fear and intimidation instead of by example. Since I can't control you, I ran and I ghosted, hoping that it would leave you broken since nothing else seemed to work. I can't be around you when you see me so clearly. It makes me look at things that I'd rather not see. So I tried to shift the focus, and when that failed, I had to go. You were very ambitious and caused them to question their own worth. May have been a player, but didn't like that you were so open with your sexuality. It's funny how they can do that too. It's like they project their own self-hate right onto you. You refuse to allow this person to affect your life or hold you back. You speak your mind. It's infuriating to them. May have rejected an offer to take care of you. You brought their lies to light. May have been very sexist. Tomboy, Destiny Rogers, that bitch, B. Miller. Christina Aguilera can't hold us down. So, collectively, there could definitely be some new perspectives being gained right now on some of these people that you have dealt with in the past and how they've treated you. You're welcome. Thank you, too. And so, you're really starting to see some of the deeper reasons and root causes for the way things played out in the past with certain people. Especially people that may have tried extremely hard to break you in some sort of way or tame you in some sort of way, or who may have been extremely cruel with their words or their actions towards you and then just fucking disappeared out of nowhere, starting to realize that it had a lot more to do with them than it did with you, and no longer taking it so personally. Look inside. Look in the mirror. What do you see? Is there bitterness and jealousy? An attitude of gratitude after a state of lack can certainly change all that. At times it can happen to anyone. Angry emotions can sap your fun. Let it go and walk away. Sometime soon will be your day. Look up high, arms outstretched to the sky. Pray for purity of the mind and soul. Know that you have come out of this lull. No more time left to spare. Want or need, have a care. So, when it comes to this person that just fucking disappeared out of your life and shit, it's really time to understand whether or not you want this person in your life or whether or not you need this person in your life. If you're in a state of needing this person in your life, then you're going to be fiending for them in ways. You're going to be constantly thinking about them, constantly obsessing over them, checking their pages, wondering where they are, what they're doing, whether or not they're going to get a hold of you, all that kind of shit. People can be an addiction just as easily as any other addiction. And when you get stuck in that energy, it can be extremely hard to break out of. It can really affect your entire life in a lot of ways. And that's where all your energy is going towards, is towards that person. When you take your energy back and take your power back, and you start to realize that I don't need this person in my life. I have everything that I need in my life. I may want this person in my life, but, you know, do I really want this person in my life? Because this person in my life is not making my life any better. Even if this person has disappeared from your life, they are still in your life if they're renting space inside your head all the time. And this person is not making your life any better. So it's time to really dive into the deeper reasons behind why you may be so focused on the need for closure in this situation. And to start working on trying to find that closure inside of yourself and dealing with that person.
You
guys gotta go potty?
Kitten, Sue. Come on, kitty. Come on, kitten.
Everyone always says respect your elders. For one, you should respect everyone. For another, respect does not mean putting up with abuse. Respect yourself enough not to be around those who disrespect you. Don't disrespect back. Two wrongs don't make a right. But stand up for others.
Let's go.
Stand up for others not being respected as well, especially children or the oppressed in general, no matter who they might be. So, I actually got into an argument with somebody a couple years back because he completely and totally disrespected my daughter. And then she pretty much disrespected him in almost the exact same way. And he started yelling at her because, oh, I'm your elder and you're supposed to respect me. And I was like, you know what, motherfucker? You want respect, you give respect. If you don't give respect, she doesn't have to give you a damn thing either. And as my daughter, she's not going to stand there and put up with your abuse without saying something either. So, you know, sorry, but no, just because you're older than her does not mean you deserve respect. If you want respect, you give respect. And if you're not going to give respect, you can't be pissed off at anybody else for not giving you that respect either. If there's been people who have been very disrespectful towards you in your life, who have shit on you, who have sat there and said things about you or to you that were just very cruel or disrespectful, rude, people who have breadcrumbed or ghosted you, people who have not been respectful of your time or your energy and all that kind of stuff, it's time to walk away from those situations. It's time to stand up for yourself. It's time to put your foot down, and it's time to tell people exactly what you think of their behavior. Cleanse, clear, and shield or protect your energy. Don't let others make your decisions for you anymore. You have more power than you know. Stand in your light and don't dim it for others or allow yourself to react and drop down to their level. You are your own person. Show the world who that really is through your actions. So, when you are so stuck and focused and all your time, attention, effort is going towards these people that are disrespecting you, cruel to you, things like that, you start to get into a very rough state yourself. And when you're in that hurt state, your energy kind of morphs into something else, and you are not the person that you want to be at the end of the day. So taking this time out for you to heal, to cleanse your energy, to clear your energy, to shield and protect yourself so that you are in your own energy is going to be very important so that you don't drop down to the level of others around you. Even when it comes to having to deal with and interact with people on a regular basis that want to try to trigger you into responding in some sort of negative way and then blaming the situation on you. You want to know how you take your power back in that situation? By no longer being sucked into those triggers. And the way that you do that is by taking enough time for self-care, for self-love, for improving the voice inside your head that tells you who you are, what you are, how amazing you are, and no longer listening to those outside voices that try to tear you down and tear you away from that and make you feel like somehow you are less than anyone else around you. Because that's when you start getting into that defensive energy and feeling like you are personally being attacked by the people around you. Your hope is not something that is stupid or naive. You have a lot of hope inside of you. Keep that faith, that optimism, that joy, and that hope alive. This transformation that you're going through at this current moment is allowing the negative aspects to drop off, fall away, and die out. It's allowing a lot of the situations, people, or positions of the past to come to an end so that you can start opening the door to things that are much healthier for you. And as you have improved that voice in your mind that tells you what you're worth and how amazing you are, how beautiful you are, what you deserve, and how much that is, once those doors start opening and you start walking through the new ones, there's going to be much higher level vibrations coming in towards you. There's going to be a lot of joy, happiness, love, light, peace, and harmony going on in the connections that you're creating in the near future because of this work and time and effort that you are putting in towards your self-care, your self-love, and improving your mental health and your emotional health. Last quarter moon in Cancer. Take a breather. Last quarter moon in Leo. Lighten up. So, taking some time and space to really be able to take care of yourself and love yourself is also going to give you a chance to just take a breath and be at peace with the way that things are. You're really going to be starting to lighten up and not taking things so seriously or so personally, when in the past you might have been taking things very seriously or very personally when it came to people saying certain things to you. It could have really pushed you over the edge into a very negative spiral, and that negative spiral is no longer going to control you because you have learned how to take your power back in that way. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Spider and the horse. and the wolf. So these intricate pieces that you have been putting together in your life and this platform that you have been building for yourself to stand on is really going to be feeling very sure and solid. And it may not have been at first. You may have been thinking that it was something that was very fragile, something that could fall apart very easily. But once you start facing some of these situations that you've gone through in the past, again, you're going to start to see just how much you've improved in being able to deal with those situations. You've definitely gotten to a stage and a level where others can't break you or tear you down anymore. And if you're not quite to this level yet, then you're going to be coming into this level here shortly, where your motivation, your drive, your ambition, the freedom that you feel inside of yourself, and all of the things that you've cultivated in your self-love, self-respect, and self-care are all going to come together to keep you moving forward regardless of what is coming your way. And what is coming your way is just going to be rolling off of you. It's not going to be controlling you anymore, tearing you down anymore. It's not going to be destroying your life in 5 seconds anymore. It's going to be things that you can handle that you may not have been able to handle in the past. And it's really going to be time to tell yourself how proud you are of yourself and celebrate your victories and your wins on this front. Right now, you're in a very strong leadership position and role. And the way that you're leading others and inspiring others is through your walk, not through your talk. Through the things that you are doing, you are showing others how to make the same choices in their life to be able to level up their life and upgrade their situations, to find that happiness and joy within themselves so that they can create that happiness and joy in their world around them. And a lot of that too is really, a lot of this healing that you're doing too is allowing you to be able to be in touch with more and bring out more of your inner child as well. Your inner child is feeling a lot more safe and a lot more comfortable, a lot more like it has somebody to stand up and fight for it and protect it, defend it. Where in the past, you may not have. A lot of you may have had some very rough childhoods that where you endured a lot of different forms of abuse. There's a lot of different forms of abuse out there, but you could have went through a lot as a child, and your inner child may have been very hidden away for a long time, scared to surface, scared to come out, scared to be that vulnerable. But you're really going to be feeling like you can be a lot more vulnerable and that it's okay to just lighten up and enjoy things that are going on around you. Instead of feeling like you need to control everything all the time, you're going to be able to let go a bit more and surrender to the way things are. In between messages, if anybody wanted to be able to donate or purchase, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, and Amazon wish list in the description box below. Thank you guys for that, or anybody who likes, shares, comments, and subscribes on this channel or my other channel, Dee's Storytime, where you can find all the poems today. And there's a link in the description box for that too. And let's see what else our guides have to say today. What else my past self wants to say to me too. Blessings are pouring in for your hard work. Let go of the outcome and allow things to unfold how they do. It's basically what we were just talking about. All is working out for you. All is working out for you all the time, even the bad stuff. It leads you to where you were meant to go if you choose to follow it. You are on your way up and out of the darkness, and as you leave behind the past, notice how you'll be able to see how far you've come without even noticing. Things are coming out now, and it will all be revealed. So will the way that you have handled everything. It's time for you to fully embrace that everything that was bad happened for a reason and created you. You are amazing. You wouldn't be you without each and every thing that went into creating you, which includes all the bad things. I was talking about that this morning and how awesome my reflexes are at times, which they would not be that way if I didn't have shit thrown at me all the time as a kid. So that's how you find the good and the bad. If it wasn't for my childhood molester I lived with, then I would not have quite the cleaning skills I have. But there's a lot of different things that you can find that are good in each situation that you end up in. And focusing on those things and focusing on the gratitude you have for those things, focusing on how amazing you are and how amazing you've become, and all the things that you have done since then that you may not have done if it wasn't for those things that happened, is something that is a blessing. It allows you to heal and let go of the past pain and the hurt and the trauma that went along with all of it. Remember to celebrate your victories and your wins. Celebrate the things that you have overcome, the things that you have worked towards and created in your life. Your empathy, good business sense, logic abilities, and charisma will serve you well. Remember to give back to the earth for giving and providing for you. Your love, life, strength, and positive energy are some of your best strengths. Business partners will trust you. So if there's situations that you're coming into where you're going to be working with people, there's going to be a lot of trust put into you in these situations. There's going to be a lot of positive energy being created in these situations as well. Your empathy is going to serve you well in this. Sometimes when you get into that state of being really defensive, being really hurt, feeling like you're naive or stupid or gullible or whatever the case may be, a lot of times you bury that empathy down underneath to where you can't even reach it or touch it. But I feel like a lot of the healing work that you've been doing is allowing you to get back to who you truly are. And who you truly are is really going to help in the connections that you're creating and making in your life. Shark, fierceness, authority, determination, grace, style, bold, aggressive, sharp, intimidating. It may be time to examine your inner fears and your emotions. Love or anger may be unacknowledged within you. You are a survivor and you keep moving forward no matter the obstacles. The shark is calling you to meet life head on, to shut out fear, and to go for what you want. Do not back down. Be resolved and show others who's in charge of your life and your purpose. Listen to the wisdom and the guidance that you're receiving about how powerful you are. It's time for self-trust and to focus on your goals. You are a boss.
Yeah,
The song Bossy is coming to mind.
Yeah.
So, if you're worried about others being able to pull one over on you, or if you're worried about others being able to take you down in some way, that is definitely not going to be happening. At this point, you have cultivated a very strong, deep inner sense of strength, stability, and discernment. There's a lot of intelligence that you've cultivated inside of yourself when it comes to dealing with a lot of different situations as well. And all of this is coming together to really propel you forward. There's a very strong leadership quality inside of you that cannot be cultivated in any other way than the ways that it's been cultivated throughout your life. So once again, being grateful for the negative cycles and situations that you've faced or gone through, because without those things, you wouldn't be who you are. You wouldn't have that shadow side in your corner. I love watching how far you've come. You really make it look easy. I'm sorry that I can't be there for you, and I know that you can do this. Keep your head up. Never feel alone. I am always here for you. Happy Thanksgiving, and remember to cherish the things that really matter. Show gratitude for all that you have. I love that Thanksgiving's in like 2 weeks, and the Happy Thanksgiving one came out. So there's definitely loved ones that are watching you from the other side as well, and that really want to let you know how proud of you they are. They're sorry they can't be there with you, but they know that you can do this, and they want you to know that you're never alone. They're always there with you, for you, in your heart, in the actions that you take. These people were a part of creating who you were too. And they live on inside of you and in the actions that you take. You're starting to break out of your shell. Keep communicating and keep opening up your throat chakra. Your communication is highly powerful. You bring massive truths to light. Never lose this newfound freedom over your voice. You have the gift to change perspectives and ideas with your words. You're meant for big things in writing, social justice, social media, influencing, tarot reading, psychology, even just sitting down and talking to somebody that you see one day. It's amazing the ripple effects that that can have on the world around you. There have been times that I've ran into people in the park and just sat and talked with them for a few minutes, and they were getting ready to swallow a bottle of pills. So it's amazing how much of an impact just sitting down and talking to somebody is. They're still alive today. Going back to school or increasing your knowledge in some way can help your endeavors. Don't be afraid to take this new journey. If you want to do something, go for it. So if there's something that you want to be learning right now, some sort of class you want to take, some sort of experience you want to have, even when it comes to, you can learn a lot from traveling. So there may be some sort of trip you're wanting to take or something like that, where you're going to end up learning a lot of different things. Don't be afraid to do the things that you're wanting to do, because they're going to increase your value too. What?
That look weird.
Mm-mm. There's a lot here about increasing your knowledge. Knowledge and wisdom are something that you have strove to attain in life. Through some very hard-learned lessons you have overcome. You will be sought after for your gifts and guidance, psychology, counseling, or helping to see the pieces of the puzzles and being able to put them back together. You're very perceptive, and you might be claircognizant as well. So there's definitely a lot of things that you know. Not everybody sees things the way that you see things, and the reason that you see things the way that you see things is because of what you've been through and who you've become throughout these things. It's also because you have chosen to take those things and create wisdom inside yourself, cultivate wisdom inside yourself, instead of just feeling like the world shit on you and there's nothing you can do about it and throwing everything away. You decided to turn it into something.
Grab my throat and kick it in the balls. Fucking trip off that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, baby.
Love you too.
Okay. Anyway, I can borrow your speaker.
Huh?
Anyway, I can borrow your speaker.
It's dead.
Is it dead?
It's dead. Yeah, but you could plug it in if you wanted to. I don't know where the other cord went. So, some people will tell you that you can't love two people at once. Think about how many people you have loved in your life, romantic or otherwise. I found out firsthand just how much you can love two people at once.
I love you.
Love you too.
Oh, I'm speaking off
So every situation that we go through in life, even the harder situations, are situations, especially the harder situations, are situations that we can learn from, grow from, accumulate a better sense of understanding and knowledge. You might actually be finding out right now that things that you have judged in the past, you're a lot more open-minded about. And that's because of the things that you had to go through to get to that state. It's kind of like the universe humbled you. That's what karma is, after all. It's learning lessons, growing, and understanding things in a different perspective now because you had to go through something that showed you how. At one point in time, I might have been very judgmental about loving two people at once and not really understanding of how people could do that or how people could feel that way. But it really can happen. At one point, my ex-husband decided he wanted to have a poly relationship with his best friend. And people who have been here on my channel for a long time, you guys already know about this. And you guys know the entire story to a very strong detail and depth because all my old videos have a lot about it in it. But it's amazing how much you can really love more than one person at once. And when you really think about it, in order to have a strong family connection or strong friendships, you're loving more than one person at once. You're loving multiple people at once. And when you come into a relationship that's more codependent, you guys isolate yourself from the world and you're only allowed to love each other. You're not allowed to have love for anybody else in the rest of the world, because it takes away from that love. But it doesn't take away from that love. It creates even more love to love. When you're in a more interdependent relationship, then you love your partner and your partner loves you, but you also love other people around you. You spend time with other people around you. You live your life. You don't just stay stuck in a bubble of only you two, separated from the rest of the world, with that division there, because it somehow means you don't love each other if you have the other people around. And that's not the case. That took a left turn. I love you so much and I miss you dearly. Part of me almost wishes that you could be here with me, but I know that you still have things to do there. I will see you when you get here. So there could definitely be situations as well where you and somebody that you love are going on your own journeys so that you can learn and grow and accumulate things that you both need to accumulate before you come back together. And it could even be as well that right now you're separated from your family or those that you love. And you may have a lot of love for these people. You may miss these people very dearly. But energy is always connected. And these people are with you even when you're not with them. There's still things for you to do and there's still things for them to do. But when it's time for you to come back together, then you will come back together, and you'll come back together as very different people. But that doesn't mean that that root connection isn't still there. It starts with you. Change this world. It happens one person at a time. Trust others will follow. You are a born leader. Step into your power and fight for what you believe in. I believe that whatever two people decide to do in their relationship and whatever people agree on to be their relationship is what their relationship is. And there's nothing wrong with whatever they choose to do in those relationships, as long as what they are doing is choosing to have love and choosing to have healthy connections and relationships outside of that love as well. I wish I could stop your tears. When I was with you, I would try so hard. Sometimes I could, other times you would hold me tight and just cry. But it seemed to help, so I stayed. Please don't cry. I love you so much. You know what? There could actually be somebody from your past as well that maybe you were in a relationship with, or maybe this was a family member, or just a very strong bond that you had, that maybe somebody passed away. And you might actually they might be really, really working overtime to try to send you messages of love and encouragement, messages that you aren't alone, and messages that you can do this. You have it within you to be able to overcome anything that's coming your way. There are definitely people that are noticing the upsets that you're going through at this time, how much you're hurting, and how hard it has been for you to be able to continue going forward, even with all this pain on your shoulders. And they wish that they could step in and take it for you. But at the end of the day, it's our own pain. And we need to go through it. We need to feel it. We need to allow ourselves to stop and take the time to express it. And that's what helps us to be able to get that out. Six of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. So if you've dealt with situations as well where people have loved you and another at the same time, that does not somehow take away from how amazing you are. Just because somebody loved someone else too does not mean that they didn't love you. Whether that be in a relationship, whether that be with your children, whether that be with your friends or your family, it doesn't matter. That does not take away from your value. At this point in time, I feel like you are knowing your value and your worth a lot higher than you used to in the past. Right now, you may actually be dealing with a lot of jealousy or bitterness around you, a lot of people fighting and competition, gossip, slander, BS like that going on because of people's jealousy and bitterness, because of people wanting to tear you down off this pedestal that they feel like you've placed yourself on or other people have placed you on. And really, these people are just lost. They're hurting. They don't know their own value. They don't know what love even is. At the end of the day, you're winning by staying in your own energy, by knowing your value, knowing your worth, and being committed and loyal to yourself first. I actually wear this ring right here. People have asked me a few times, why do I wear this ring on my ring finger? I wear that ring because I am committed to myself first and foremost. Period. Be committed to yourself first and foremost. There could also be a reconciliation of a certain situation that may end up happening as well. Either way, there's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of joy going on in your life. You're going to be going out more. You're going to be enjoying life. You're going to be singing, dancing, feeling good. And it's really going to create a lot of love in your life. This love that you are willing to express now, this joy that you're willing to express now, that's going to be coming back to you because people are going to be feeling comfortable to express love and joy around you. People are going to be feeling comfortable to just be themselves and to take off their masks because you're willing to take off your mask. And yeah, there's going to be some bitterness and jealousy. And yeah, there's going to be some resentment. There's going to be some arguments. There's going to be things like that. But don't focus on those and don't be afraid of those. And don't worry that that is somehow going to affect you. Remember who you are and just be you, regardless of what anybody else has going on. Hi, Elise. Oh, nice. From France. Sentimental guidance. So, you may have been reminiscing a lot lately about certain things. And in some ways, you may actually be somewhat upset at yourself for getting stuck on these things again, for going back and looking over things again. But every time we go back and look into those things again, we gain some new perspectives and understandings of it. And I feel like right now, a lot of the reason that you're going back and looking into these things again is so that you can heal the last of the pain that you might be feeling from these things. And so that you can really be able to see the amazing, good parts of these things and what these things have really brought to you. So that that pain can finally fall away and you can finally heal the last remnants of what's going on in the past. Yes, now I can save the ocean. So, you may be finding a lot of old cards or pictures that were drawn for you, or even old photographs. You may be running across a lot of those old things, and those old things are reminding you just how much love may have been around you at times when you couldn't see it. You may really be feeling like you have become very emotionally strong. You might be noticing more and more as well just how emotionally strong you have come over the time. You may have been looking at things from a very confused and distorted vision in the past. And I feel like a lot of that pain and hurt is falling away as you are revisiting these situations that you have dealt with. My bank account is filling up. Everyone wants to watch me, and everything is going good on that front. My passive income is insanely high. All my hard work, commitment, dedication, perseverance, and faith were worth it and finally paid off. It's time to celebrate. So it's time to celebrate for all of the work that you've done. Your commitment, your dedication, your perseverance, your faith when things were hard. you have really been able to pull yourself together and remain very strong in the face of anything that you have come across. A journey to your passion within. A journey to find the light, leaving darkness, no more fight, shame and guilt for passion's ease, time to cross to less choppy seas. It's always darkest before the dawn, face the darkness to move on, travel deep to find the pain, know your desires are not insane. Enjoy the journey as you go, as storm clouds gather, go with the flow. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the growth, to yourself, keep your oath. So, it's funny that I was actually just talking about being committed to myself before others. Right now, you are on a journey to find that light, to leave the darkness behind, and to feel like you don't constantly have to fight for everything. You're leaving behind any kind of shame or guilt for the passion that you feel, for what you want to do, who you want to be, where you want to go. And you are really starting to come into a less choppy seas. I love that. I can now save the ocean. So you are coming out of these situations that were really hard, where it almost felt like you were going to drown in the pain or the misery or the hurt or the sadness of the past. And you're starting to see now that the darkness that was there was something that needed to be felt. It needed to happen. And that darkness is always darkest before the dawn, before the joy comes in, before everything is lit up and everything is seen clearly. Lots of betrayal is very hard. I've been through a lot of betrayal myself from people that I trusted more than anybody in my entire life, that did things to me that I never would have in a million years considered doing to them. And it's so hard to deal with that. One of the best things to realize in that is that none of it was your fault. The way that people behave and the things that they choose to do. Oh, by the way, you put your question on there at 11:22 too. So you're really, the way that people decide to behave and the things they choose to do is because of the pain that they have going on inside of them. And I'm so glad that you've been spending a lot of time working through these things and healing that hurt and pain inside of yourself. Because whether we realize it or not, and whether we intend to or not, when we are hurting, we do hurt people. Sometimes people are hurting people intentional, yes. But there's a lot of times where people are not intentionally hurting people. They're hurting people because of the hurt and pain that they have inside of themselves. They are feeling like, oh, this person's going to get me, so I need to lash out and I need to get them before they get me. I need to protect myself. It's amazing what we can do when we slip ourselves into survival mode. Which is why it's always important to forgive ourselves for some of those things that we do in survivor mode too. And if we can forgive others, we can forgive ourselves, and vice versa. If we can forgive ourselves, then we can forgive others. And forgiving them is very important for our healing, because we are no longer carrying that poison around with us. And with 11:22 being on there too, a lot of this work that you've been putting in is helping you to see that you are whole on your own, that you don't need others around you, to really tap into who you truly are and who you truly want to be. It's also helping you to see yourself fully, not just the light sides, but the shadow sides as well, to embrace them, love them, and be okay with them. It helps us to drop the judgment on others, and it helps us to forgive ourselves and others for things that are going on. Genius by LDS. Yes, you do. You grow stronger every day. Each and every day that you don't give in, you don't throw that towel in, you grow stronger. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I'm batshit crazy having you on my mind? Do you think I'm helpless? My algebra's gonna equal you every time. Do you think I'm calling out your name every night? Girl, I have fallen for you. What you say? So, somebody may actually be trying to let you know what they feel for you, they may actually be having a hard time dealing with you because they might be overthinking things a lot, or they may feel like you're playing games with them in some sort of way. You may not even be playing games with them, but because of some of the past hurt and pain, you may be having a hard time opening up, or you may be a little bit defensive, or you may be just having a hard time giving in this situation. And somebody may be trying to give to you, but they may be feeling like you're playing games in some sort of way, or like maybe you think they're stupid, or maybe you think that they're crazy for even thinking anything could happen between you, or something along those lines. And a lot of the way that you're reacting in this situation could be partly due to some of the things that have happened in the past. Be okay with that. Be okay with the fact that if someone wants to get inside, they may have to work for it. They may have to actually cultivate that trust inside of you. You are worth that. And I'm sure at some point you have done that in your life for others, where you have worked really hard to get them to see that you're not some monster who's going to destroy them. And it's okay that somebody is doing that now in your life too. Eight of Pentacles, Judgment, and the Seven of Wands. Try to take the high road. Boundaries are good, but when it starts getting into a fiercely defensive energy, it becomes less about boundaries and less about what's healthy and more about protecting yourself in survivor mode again. 55:44 was just on the clock too. So as you're learning these lessons and overcoming these situations, you are really creating a very strong, stable, solid foundation inside of yourself. You're going to be feeling very comfortable. You're going to be opening up more, and you're really going to be letting go of the past and allowing it to fall away. You're not only going to be letting go of the past in the sense of forgiving everything, but you're also going to be releasing a lot of judgments you had against others and yourself for the ways that they reacted or behaved in situations, and the things that they did when they were in that hurt mode themselves, where they were having a hard time opening up or having a hard time trusting and accepting in new experiences. You've been working extremely hard to be able to cultivate this type of strength inside of yourself. And this type of strength is going to win at the end of the day for you, because you're going to be able to let go a bit more. New moon in Taurus, know your worth. Exactly. Know that you are worthy of having somebody. The song that keeps coming to mind too is Halsey Castle. If you want to break these walls down, you're going to get bruised. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is. And that's okay. It's okay that somebody's going to get bruised trying to break into that heart. Because if somebody finds it worth it to break into that heart, and they want to put in that time, that effort, that energy, you're going to be feeling a lot more like this person actually values you, actually loves you, actually cares about you. If you can love yourself and forgive yourself for being a little bit difficult to deal with at this time. I love that song too. It's great. But I can't think of any of the lyrics right now, so it's been playing through my head repeatedly, and the lyrics are there while it's playing, and then when I go to say them, they disappear. That happens a lot when I'm channeling songs for some reason. So, that is what I have for your question. I really hope that helped you. And let's see what other messages our guides have today. And I really feel like a lot of this collective reading is going to help too for you, because it's been going into a lot of the similar things. Hi, Dom Dom. Thank you, beautiful, and you're welcome. It was nice hearing from you. It's been a little while. I hope things are going good for you. Find your peace, center and ground yourself. Don't allow fear and anxiety to steal your win. Don't let the opinions or judgments of others cause you to turn away from what you know to be your truth. So don't let the opinions or judgments of others about where you're at or what state you're in or how you're dealing with things cause you to feel like you are not doing good enough. You are doing perfectly fine where you're at with what you're doing and how you're doing it. We can't always be on point all the time, every second of every day. That's just not going to happen. None of us are robots. We're people. And so people are going to be having pitfalls. People are going to be having ups and downs. People are going to be having emotions. And emotions are going to be steering us different directions. Sometimes it's not the same direction as everyone around you, but that doesn't make it wrong either. Yeah, I've had a lot of that as well. Wanting to control you, wanting to push on your boundaries. That's also how you learn how to say no, though, too. And a lot of times when somebody's pushing on your boundaries like that and you tell them no, it's kind of like dealing with a child a lot of times where they're going to push on them again and see if you're going to hold to that no. My children with my ex. Dad, can we get this? Can we get this? Can we get this? No. I already said no. Drop it and leave it alone. 5 minutes later, Dad, can we get this? Can we get this? Can we get this? And it's because he gives in a lot of the times. And when you give in, you teach them that I'm going to give in. I'm going to cave. If you push hard enough, I will cave. When you don't give in, you teach them that even if you keep pushing, I'm not going to cave. Period. Bottom line. And at the end of the day, it's going to be worse for you because now you're not going to get to go with me next time I go somewhere. Sometimes dealing with people in a partnership is the same as dealing with your kids when it comes to that. And I mean, you're not just going to walk away and leave your kids because of that. So sometimes you don't in those situations either, but it all depends on whether or not they want to choose to have that respect after you have already let them know that this isn't going to change. This is the way it's going to be. And if you don't like it, then get the fuck out of here. Camping with you was so amazing. The trees, the stars, wind, and full moon were so amazing. It's like a spell was cast and time was stopped. But I need someone who can be open and vulnerable, someone who can communicate clearly. I think this was just a fling of two lonely people. The song Lonely Chick. Heal and find wholeness within. We are mirroring, so I need to do this as well. Don't give up your heart to someone just because you can't stand being alone. It should only be given when you feel good on your own. When you also feel like this person is going to cherish and appreciate your heart. When you feel like they are going to put in the time, the effort, the work, and the energy it takes to cultivate something beautiful between you. It shouldn't just be you who's putting in that, but the other people as well. When you feel good on your own and you're feeling like you would be fine whether things worked out or not, then you're going to be creating something that's a lot more beautiful. Codependency is something that we both need to work on. So there could definitely be situations where codependency was a very strong issue in the past, and these are things that not just you, but the person that you were dealing with needs to work on too. You're welcome, sweetheart. I'm so grateful that you guys are here regularly too, and for everything you guys do for me. Codependency is something that we both need to work on. This has been a very strong theme throughout this reading too. When it comes to needing another person, you act a whole different way than you do when you don't feel like you need that other person. And when it comes to codependency, it's not just one-sided. Both sides are having those issues. Both sides are in a toxic situation. Not just you. That other person is dealing with a toxic situation too. From their perspective, there's different toxicities going on. So remembering that also helps us to be more forgiving. Remembering that they're learning, they're growing, they're going through their situations to go cultivate those lessons inside themselves too, really helps us to be able to be more accepting of the way things are playing out. We blame all types of people for creating monsters. Why not ourselves? Olivia Benson. We shouldn't blame anyone but the monster. We all have a choice. Understanding is good, but excusing the actions of someone by blaming others is not okay. You might feel like your actions created a monster, or someone's actions created a monster inside of you that you have had, or a monster that you have had to deal with. But still, everyone has a choice. Are you a monster? How many monsters have you had to deal with without giving in to your dark sides? Sometimes we all make mistakes, and sometimes it hurts others. Sometimes when we're hurt, we hurt people. But that doesn't mean we chose to become a monster. And that doesn't mean that the people who hurt us are monsters either. Sometimes, yes, they are. There are serial killers in this world. There are serial rapists. There are all kinds of nasty, cruel people that do all kinds of nasty, cruel shit in this world. And yes, they were hurt, and that's what created them. But that doesn't excuse their actions or their behaviors. That doesn't make what they did okay. And at the same time, at the end of the day, sometimes those monsters that we ran into that really caused a lot of pain, hurt, and despair in our lives, they were just hurt people that didn't know how to love and didn't know how to treat us. No is no. And we aren't the mother of our partner, but at the same time, who's gonna be? Just saying. But other people may not have learned things in their childhood. We may not have learned things in our childhood. So just like it's not our responsibility to raise them, it's not their responsibility to raise us. But sometimes when you come together with two people, you both raise each other up a little bit. You both teach each other some things, as long as you're both open to that. As long as you're open to teaching and learning. And it has to be both people that are open to teaching and learning for it to work out in the best way possible. You're only a villain because you are broken. It's time for full self-acceptance. Look in the mirror. What do you see? Villain Era is a great song too. It might be by Peach KKA, but I'm really not sure. Some of the self-sabotaging behaviors that you are working through are very painful to other people, whether you like it or not, whether you want to see that or not. You might be saying, I don't want to raise my partner, but other people may not want to raise you. You went through this to gain more compassion, understanding, empathy, and less judgment for yourself and for other people. You had to break to truly bloom. Trying to keep you in, and I'm only saying that because you know what, I found that out myself too. It's not something I didn't have to learn to accept my shadow sides and how I have hurt other people, because I have hurt other people as well in my pain. I have become the villain in their story, just like they've been a villain in my story. But in all honesty, we're all just people trying to love and sometimes coming up short. Trying to keep you in a state of waiting, not seeing your value or your worth, not expecting to receive, not understanding the impact you make on the people around you. So if you are avoiding somebody, if you are breadcrumbing somebody, if somebody is trying to show you their love and is trying to talk to you and get closer to you, and you are holding them at an arm's length, you are really not sure about the situation, you're having a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, and you really aren't even wanting to deal with this person, you're hurting that person. Whether you like it or not, that's the way it is. You are becoming that breadcrumber. Not understanding the impact you make on people around you. They want you to see yourself as worthless and unworthy. Or they don't even know they're making you feel worthless and unworthy, and they're busy feeling worthless and unworthy themselves, which is why they're like, why is this person putting all this time and attention and effort on me? And it's creepy, and they're making me feel uncomfortable, and I don't want to be around them. And so they aren't responding. They aren't trying to create something. But you are trying to create something, and so it creates this unequal give and take, where you're giving and they aren't anywhere to be found to be giving back, but yet you're still giving to this situation that isn't something you can even grow anyway. And vice versa, when they're doing that with you, they're learning to love themselves. They're learning how to pull away from situations where people are not seeing them in the same light and are not wanting to connect deeper, even if they are. We can't always get what we want. Start to see the effect that you have from different eyes, those of your maker. Look at your life through heaven's eyes, the Prince of Egypt. Hi, Katerina. So, in that song, basically what happened was this spoiled prince who has spent all of his life enslaving the population around him and not really caring about them or their struggles or their worries, not even noticing them, doing a lot of really cruel and evil shit. Ends up saving this girl and taking her back to her family, and ends up saving this other girl as well. And as this guy is telling him, thank you so much for everything that you've done to help our family. We really appreciate this. You are amazing. And he's giving them all this praise for all the good things that he has done. He's like, there's nothing good I've done. I'm an evil, awful, horrible, despicable person. I don't deserve to be here with you or your family. And he's like, what are you talking about? You saved my daughter. You saved my granddaughter. And you don't even see it. You don't even see the beauty that you brought to our lives. We are so grateful to you for those things that you have done. And it doesn't matter what you've done in the past, because what you have chosen to do from here forward is what matters most. And you have chosen to be the good guy, even if you were the villain in the past. Awesome. Throw your questions down there and I will get to them. And thank you for that, by the way. You are here. All of you are here for a reason, a purpose much longer than just a season. Overcoming is a must. In faith, place your trust. Happiness blooms from the inside. All the pain you can't abide. Strength is yours to harness well if you believe that you can never fail. You're on your path, listen now. Ask your heart where and how. All the answers will come to you once you switch to a more peaceful view. So, the more peaceful view is not seeing yourself as better than anybody. Being humble. Also, at the same time, seeing yourself as fucking amazing. Because you are fucking amazing. But that doesn't mean nobody else is either. That doesn't mean the villains in your life aren't amazing in their own ways and haven't decided to leave the villain days behind to become the hero too. Anybody could do that at any time. The rocks that form the mountain's base don't think they're any more important than the ones that form the face. One single thread in a tapestry doesn't know its worth, but at the end of the day, without that thread, there would be a hole in the tapestry, and it wouldn't be anywhere near as beautiful. So each person on this planet, including our villains in our lives, have a purpose for being here. They were here for a reason, just as much as we were in that position for a reason. Without them, we would not be the people that we are today. And without their villains, they wouldn't be the people they are. Some of the worst villains you've ever met in your life can turn into some of the most amazing people. And all it took was karma to humble them, to get them to turn their life around and create something beautiful out of it. If they didn't die of shame and guilt first. So, will you be reconnecting with your emotions and intuition soon? The first thought was yes, definitely. That is a lot of what the collective seems to be working on right now as well. This was a picture that my daughter drew for me. Forgiveness is going to be one of those things that's going to help, and letting go. Allowing things to be as they are. And not feeling like you're unloved simply because people have their lives to live too. You are worthy. You are worthy. Know it's true. Love everything that makes you you. No more seeing yourself as less. No more mind in a mess. Healing comes to you now. You will see and know it's true. Love yourself as you'd love another. Love yourself like your own mother. No more questioning if you deserve. Throw a curve. Make sure you swerve. If it's not up to par, no more settling for below the bar. You are meant for so much more. Believe it's true and open the door. So you could be at a state right now where you're not seeing how amazing you are, how wonderful you are. You may be feeling guilt or shame for some of the actions that you've taken in the past, for some of the pain that you've caused to some of the people that you love very much, for some of the coldness that you've been feeling and how blocked off your heart has been. As you choose to thaw that heart, you are choosing to love more fully. You are choosing to give more fully. You are choosing to be more present in your life and the lives of others around you. And that presence is something that is beautiful and amazing. That presence is something that makes a very big impact in people's lives around you. The hard work you are putting in is definitely paying off, and you are definitely going to be unfreezing your heart and feeling much more strong in your intuitive capabilities. Full moon in Aries, cool your emotions. Aries can be, a lot of times, Aries can be very argumentative. They are somebody that you don't want to fuck with generally. You don't want to fuck with me. A lot of times they end up, okay, I'll put it this way. I had an Aries that was my first boyfriend, and cops ended up stopping him to talk to him about something. And he ended up spitting in one of the cops' faces. He ended up getting arrested that night when, he could have just been respectful and been fine. But, sometimes when we get really upset, we start flying off the handle at some of the stupidest shit. And you might be feeling a lot of guilt and shame for the way that you reacted to certain situations and how angry you were and how much that anger really hurt the people around you. But you know what? Every single one of us sometimes gets angry and ends up hurting the people around us. That doesn't mean that we don't deserve love. But you have to find that love inside yourself and that forgiveness inside yourself before you start seeing it on the outside. Full moon in Leo. Go wild. Thank you very much, Elise. I appreciate that. He definitely does need that healing. And so do all of us. Focusing on our own healing is the best thing that we can do. And it leads the way for others to focus on their healing too, to step up and do what's necessary, because they start to see us and they get very inspired by us. Sometimes taking that first step is not only the best thing for us, but it's the best thing for everyone around us too, because they really do get a lot from that. Go wild. Full moon in Leo. So it is time to really shine your light. It's time to step into the spotlight. It's time to lead the way, and it's time to be yourself. It's time to just have fun, to enjoy life, and to get back out there again, and to stop worrying so much about whether or not you're doing right or wrong. Are you doing what is making you happy? Are you doing what's filling you with joy again? Because that's what's going to break your heart free the most too, is just getting out there and having some fun, going wild, and not worrying about how anybody sees you or what's going on, letting pride and ego just fall to the side. Being courageous enough to express yourself. Not trying to make everyone else happy by what you're doing, and letting go of control. Making the best decision for yourself and for everyone else involved in the situation is sometimes hard. And a lot of times we don't know what that situation is or what that decision is until we learn. And so next time we can make a better decision by what we've learned from the decisions we've made this time. You are definitely a leader. You're very strong. You're very solid. You are definitely in your masculine energy, very much so. But a lot of this is because you are trying to work hard for everyone else. And now's the time to put a little bit more into what you are wanting to cultivate. And also, not seeing that more feminine side of yourself as a weakness. The weakness was pleasing everyone. The weakness was not having a heart. Will you get out of spiritual stagnation? Oh, stagnation happens so much. This last week, I was having a bit of stagnation myself, and my inspiration was not coming in, which was really irritating me because there's things that I need to be doing for some of the projects I'm taking care of that you can't do without the inspiration. But if I take some time for self-care, self-love, to just pamper myself, love myself, and give to me, then I'm feeling good. And once I'm feeling good, I can pinpoint what is bothering me the most and what is going on with my inspiration and with my creativity. It's the same thing with spiritual stagnation. You may feel very alone right now, but remember that you are never alone. You may not have many people around right now. Enjoy it because it won't last forever. Use this time for you and know that you will be feeling good for when you don't have as much time for yourself. Get some things done that you haven't had time or energy for in the past. Get a massage, take an extra long hot shower or bath, go for an extra walk, do some extra art, or watch a movie, or read a book. And all those things are really going to, that's another thing. When a book keeps popping up to you, or when a certain movie keeps popping up to you, there's something in there that is calling to you. There's some sort of message that's trying to get through, and those messages are going to help to pull you out of that too. You're welcome, Katrina. Katarina or Katrina? I totally understand. Yep. And sometimes it's as simple as being uninspired can be as simple as not having any changes in your life. Try doing something new. Try going somewhere you would never really think to go before, or somewhere you've been wanting to go for a really long time, but you haven't done it. Take the time to do something that is calling to you like that, and it's going to pull you into a new energy and start lifting you up again. Look high, not low. Sights on the sky, set so high. Haters always wonder why. Set expectations are a lie. But look at me now, standing tall. I have climbed my own brick wall. Are you ready to fight this fight, or is jealousy blocking your sight? You can change your life too. Come out smelling so brand new. But all your time is wasted here, spent only on your nasty leer. Take a minute to look in the mirror. Tell me, what is it that you truly fear? See the amazing things you could be if only you're willing to pay the fee. And paying the fee sometimes is letting go. You could be focused a lot on what everybody else has going on in their life right now. And you could be feeling a certain way about their life being the way it is and your life being the way that your life is right now. And so taking some time to focus on your life and what you want to do in it, where you want to go, what you want to be dealing with, those things are going to help you to take that energy away from the things that are holding you back and put it into moving forward. New moon in Capricorn, step up and lead. It's time to take that leadership position. And it's time to stop looking to others for where you want to go or what you want to do, and to start looking inside of yourself. Small steps is definitely the way to go. The moon, 6 of Pentacles, and 8 of Swords. So a lot of the reason you might be feeling blocked and trapped is because you've created this scenario in your head where you're like, I can't give to anybody, because if I give to anybody, it's not going to be coming back to me. But it is going to be coming back to you. Even if it doesn't come back to you from that specific person, it's going to be coming back to you in some sort of way. And if you're giving to people and they're not giving back to you, you don't have to have them in your inner circle. But don't feel any sort of way about it. Let the expectations go and just allow things to play out the way that they're going to be playing out. There's definitely a lot that you have inside of you that you've been hiding from the world that you could be putting out there. But you've been holding back on a lot of it because you're worried that people might take it, or you're worried that you may not get back for what you're putting out in some sort of way. It's time to really face these shadows that you got going on inside of you. Face that jealousy, or face that hurt or pain from the expectations in the past that were crushed. This prison that you're in inside of your mind is of your own creating. And sometimes it can be extremely hard to crawl your way out of it. You may be focusing very obsessed on certain things that are bringing you down and making you feel like you're not good enough in some sort of way. But you're good enough exactly as you are right now to be able to create whatever it is that you're wanting to create in your life. And you definitely have the ability to tap in and tune in to your intuition, the signs, the synchronicities, and messages that are coming into you, and to increase that connection. But increasing that connection is going to take you taking some time to get yourself to a level of peace and grounded energy. You're not stuck. That's another thing to tell yourself. You're not stuck You're just doing what you need to do to work through the maze inside of yourself. And yeah, it might be going slow, but you're still moving, even if it's slow. And sometimes we need that slow movement. Sometimes when the fast movement's going on, we're like, everything's going so fast. What am I supposed to do? So be grateful for the slow movement right now. And you might see a shift too. So we're going to do one more closeout message from our guides, and then we're going to be done for the day today. Let's see what else they have to say to us today. All the cops in my area that are abusing their power are exposed. Truths are revealed and evidence is found. No more harassment and no more hiding. They cannot run and they will face their judgment. The power struggle is over now. All secrets in this small town are coming to light. It's amazing the amount of secrets that have been coming to light in this small town all year. I wrote this like a year and a half ago. There's been a lot of them that have been getting censured. You're welcome, sweetheart, and I appreciate you being here today and purchasing a reading too. So there could definitely be people in your area that have been abusing their power, people who have been really cruel and have been lying about it. You may have even been scapegoated in some of these cases, but these truths are being revealed and evidence is being found. There's not going to be any more harassment coming your way, and there's not going to be any more hiding. They can't run, and they're going to be having to face judgment. Karma is coming for the people who have been abusing their power and lying and all of that kind of stuff. It's time to let go, to allow the past to be in the past. Closure or no closure. It doesn't matter if you get the closure. Do it for yourself so that you can get your life back on track. It's not time to start letting in distractions. It's too close now to your fulfillment. Remove yourself from the situation and have compassion, but detach, because you can't control any of that. You can't control the outcomes. You can't control how fast it's going to be exposed. You can't force people to see the truth. But what you can do is step away from it and decide you're no longer going to focus all your time, energy, and effort on it, because you have more important things to focus on. You can only control what you're doing and how you're behaving, not how others are behaving or what they're doing. And that's the way it is in life. I'm always here with you, protecting you, as you are always there to protect others. Luck is on your side. I know your intentions were pure. So do your guides. We are all behind you 100%. Never feel like you are alone. Notice and appreciate our presence. We have your back. Your work and your actions are very important for change and to raise the vibrations of the collective in this world. So, your purpose is far too great and far too important to get stuck worrying about what everyone else is doing, where they're going, how they're getting away with everything and all that kind of stuff, because they're not getting away with it. Eventually, everyone gets called to account for the things that they have done. And if you spend your whole life focused on them and what they got going on, first off, you're holding on to that for them, and their karma's not finding its way back to them. But also, instead of living your life and creating and leaving the beauty that you could be, you're focused on that instead. So you're going to end up running into some karma for that yourself as well. Yes, your sensual pleasure can definitely boost yourself. Manifesting through getting off is a very good thing to work with as well. Loving yourself, feeling yourself, being yourself. My God and Goddess are definitely satisfied and proud, and so are yours. Black magic sent to me, or those that I love, cannot touch us at all. They will regret their actions. Everything that they send out is powerless. Every time they try it, their gifts get weaker and wither away. Their energy is removed from our lives. They cannot touch us in any physical, emotional, or spiritual way. Their power is gone. They are weak. I am strong. Faith brings me and those that I love through this untouched. Nothing in my life is stuck or stagnant. Hidden enemies are all exposed. Those once scared to speak their truth are freed from fear. They speak now, loud and clear. Affirmations are very good for this as well. Rituals are very good for this. And also, one of my favorite ways to cleanse and protect my energy is in a shower, because you can allow all that negative energy to roll down and off of you. And as you do, all of your muscles relax and all the tension releases. And then you can call back all your energy, all the pieces of your soul, everything that is you back to you until you're whole. And you see yourself filling up with light until it's a big ball of light around you. And I like to put a crystal ball around that to add extra protection, with little shards of mirror around that, so that any of the negative energy or anything coming my way from the outside is sent back to the owner, and it's not mine to carry around with me. I change the titles after I do the collective reading, and I usually put in the title stuff that had to do with the reading. Cherry Red. Hey there, Cherry Red, come and talk to me instead. Nah, I'm good, you be feeling too hood. I stand my ground, not easy prey. Look around, you just can't stay. Standing truly in my power, minute after minute, hour after hour. I'm a woman who knows her worth, regardless of rank or birth. So when you see this cherry red, be careful how you tread. J-Lo. A Woman's Worth is a good song to listen to too. And if you want to be able to find any of the poems in the reading today, there's a link for Dee's Storytime in the description box below, and that's where you can find them. So right now, you definitely have every reason to be feeling very sassy about the power that you have. Very strong, very solid, and like nothing is going to tear you down or tear you away from what you're working towards. It's time to give to you a little bit. Expecting all of your care to come from outside of you is very codependent. Ever wonder why you end up in relationships that are codependent and toxic? Look in the mirror, because you just might be codependent yourself. Is it narcissism that you see in your partners, or is it yourself? Or is it you're upset that they are wanting to take care of them instead of taking care of you every second of the day? Doing so much to care for everyone else and expecting another to care for every part of you can be the life of a toxic martyr. It's toxic martyr syndrome. It can be seen as selfish or narcissistic sometimes. And it can also be selfish or narcissistic sometimes to pull back your energy and be taking care of you, especially if other people around you are not doing that, because then they're going to be thinking that you're a narcissist because you refuse to sacrifice everything you are for everyone else. Anyway, it can be seen as selfish or narcissistic, especially if your partner isn't one you place on a priority list, but you expect them to do so for you. Although I feel like most of you here are giving far too much to a partner, resulting in far too much of high expectations. If you loved you, then you wouldn't be looking for external validation, and you wouldn't be giving to somebody everything that you feel like you need to give to them to keep them around. You would also know what you expect from others, and you would be able to put your foot down and tell them, this is what I want, and if you can't do this, then bye. And so would they. Anything not up to par would fall away, and knowing that something better was there for you. And all those experiences that you went through in the past, that was so you could learn how to do this as well. Instead of dreading it, never coming along, you will know that it will. And this will help you to be able to let go of the situations that were not for your highest good. It doesn't make it less painful, but it does make it to where you're able to let go of it a lot easier and be okay with things not working out when they don't, because they weren't good situations. You may be very afraid to let go of situations, afraid of the heartbreak that could come from toxic situations as well. Maybe even afraid of starting new situations because of the toxicity that has been there in the past situations and the heartbreak it's created for you and everyone around you. Because it's not just your own heart that's breaking in most of those situations, it's other people's too. And sometimes we get worried about breaking other people's hearts too, or hurting other people. The beauty that you have inside of you that you are afraid to show to the world, you may feel like it's taboo, or that it's something that people would see as evil, or that it's something that people would not like, or whatever the case may be. All these beautiful qualities that are inside of you that you have cultivated through these experiences that you went through, it's time to express those. It's time to put those out there, and it's time to shine a light on those. To no longer be afraid of what people are going to think if you are just yourself. And yourself is life partner material to someone. Yourself is someone very intelligent, someone very unique, someone beautiful and amazing, someone worthy of love, kindness, and care. But in order to give that love, kindness, and care, we also have to stop being so afraid of other people's thoughts, opinions, or ideas of what we should be doing with our life and what's good and what isn't and what's evil and what's this and what's that. Because you know what? What one person thinks is evil can be seen as a very different thing from a lot of other people's eyes. Look at people thinking that gays are evil. How the fuck can you think love is evil? There's enough hate in this world. Why do you need to hate on people for loving each other? So, love yourself enough to know that you are not evil for what you want, how you feel, what brings you happiness and joy, or who you decide to spend your time with that other people may decide is toxic, when this person could be somebody who has treated you better than anybody has ever treated you in your life. But because they have something going on with them, people might be judging that situation from the outside and thinking, oh, you shouldn't be doing anything with that person because that person is just disgusting. When that person may actually be treating you better than the person judging that person ever could. So, that is what I have for today's reading, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Once again, if you guys want to be able to donate, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wish list in the description box below. All those things help me out very much, and so does liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing on this channel or my other channel. Truly appreciate each and every one of you and all the support you bring to me in doing what I love to do. And thank you to our guides for being here to guide us in this as well, and to bring these messages out in the clearest way they can. And I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.